Hey everybody, it's BB. Today I'm going to be doing a video showing you how I have taken the Tony Lee acrylic that's already pre-mixed with beautiful glitters and chunks and different shapes and sizes on my nails that I have done. Now, I have redone these. When I first did it, they all look like this. But since then, it's already been 2 weeks. They've grown out. They needed a fill. So I figured prime opportunity. And then this is the thumb here. Let me show you like that there. So, with no further ado, let's get started. Okay guys, first we're going to start with the NATO Nails medium speed. Actually, BB's surprised she's not back into the whole slow speed. Alright, so we have our monomer. Now these nails have already been pushed back, but because I've already gone to town, let me go ahead and re-dehydrate these little bad boys. And I'm going to do that with just acetone. Now this one is already done, and the only reason it's done is because I experimented with this finger when I first did this finger. I wanted to see if I could lay it on the form with all the glitter in it and if it would stay. And it has. And I figured I'd change up the nail length a little bit and the shape. So I'm trying to go back to my fave, which is coffin or ballerina. Alright, so as you can tell, let me kind of zoom in a little bit here. Sorry. It's already dehydrated. So what I'm going to do is, just for poops and giggles, I'm going to go ahead and put the protein bond on. And the only reason I'm doing that is because I do have some nakedness over here. So, oh shoot. I got nakedness alright, and I'm going to have a hot mess before it's all over with. With this, you don't need too much at all. Try not to get it on your skin. Okay. Yeah, for whatever reason, my nails have been growing out like crazy. Or at least while the product's on it. There we go. And then we're just going to let this dry. Okay. So that is that. With the thumb, we're going to do the same thing. I want the whole thing covered in this. This is already done. It's already set. So basically what we're going to do is we're just going to go in with a clear cap for that. So let's get started. Oh, I should show you this too. If you happen to be buying acrylic and it already has pieces in it, whether it's glitter chunks or whatever may be in there, always mix it. So this is what I do. I mean, even if you're making your own. And this is, let me show you. This is designed by Tony Lee, and this is number 128. And that's how much I paid for it. I love a lot of his stuff. Now, also, if you'd, all right, see, we're gonna just let it all moisten up here. And the one thing you do need to be aware of is it may not look thick, the acrylic, when you're picking it up by the bead this way. Oh, but trust me, it is. Because I don't want it all gumped up. I'm trying to get a nice spread. And sometimes, now this is challenging for me because this is actually, ooh, really the second time I've worked with this. But it's so pretty. I just got to learn how to maneuver it. And I kind of thought it would be nice for Easter. Okay. Another little tip for advice is always make sure you have a second brush. Because sometimes this glitter is hard to get out of a brush. Even this big chunky stuff. So I have this brush, and then I have another brush that I use just for the clear cap. Alright, so there it is. You could also use the same as what I'm doing here on a full false tip, and I'll show you that after a bit. But I wanted to show you that. So there's that. Alright, so with see, it does not take much. And the hardest part really is getting it in position of where you want it. And then if I need some more color, I just get my brush good and wet. Alright, so there is that. There we go. And like I said, you have to be careful with this because it is thicker than what you realize it really is. So if you don't want it too thick, you're just going to have to monitor it really close, because I have done the same thing. When I first did it, I was like, ah, this is way too thick. I didn't want it that thick. And I thought I was putting it on thin enough. So alright, so I'm just going to get this a little bit wet. Basically just pick up some pieces and just set them, because you cannot just file over this to smooth any of this out. You have to clear cap it. So you want it as smooth as possible. There is that. Okay, I can already tell I got my top too thick. So that most of that will probably be filed off. I was going to say, how'd that get under there? Okay. There we go. All right. Okay. That looks pretty good to me. That's not too bad. And you would think as big as this brush is, and as big as those pieces are, they would not get caught in there, but they do. Alright, so we're done with this for now, because then I want to show you on a full tip. Alright, now, we're going to go back in, different brush. Okay. There we go. I love these brushes, but I have no caps to these things. They didn't come with one. Alright, so we're going to go into the thumb. And this is at the point where you would put your apex in. Without flooding the cuticles. So there we go. That one looks pretty good. Ah, I was going to try something, but I got ahead of myself. Okay. And you're still going to need to do a little bit of filing, but it's not going to be as bad as if you were starting from scratch. And somehow BB missed that whole cuticle. I mean the whole apex thing. There we go. Don't ask me how I did it, but I did. There we go. Okay. So again, like I said, you're going to have to do a little bit of filing just to crisp up your edges, but nothing drastic. Unless you do what BB has done and gone crazy. Okay, that looks good. There we go. And then by the time you get to the one side that is completely done, when you go back to your thumb, it should be ready. Okay. All right, I did happen to get some down in the wall. I thought it felt tight. Okay. And then you're just gonna buff it like so. Just make sure everything is nice and smooth. Yep, make sure your lines are still crisp. If you've already done your style of nail, like I have done. See right there, it got just a little thick and out of hand. And I will say this, when you're working with the clear, sometimes I don't care how much lighting you have, it's still hard to see it. It's basically, you're gonna have to know the feeling of what it should feel like. Okay, we're just gonna carry right on through. I did get it on the skin. Usually I do a better job than that. Okay. And just follow it around. Lightly. When you're going over the apex, you just want to get a light buff on it, so when you put your top coat on, it'll stick. Oh, I'm all over in the camera. Sorry, guys. And since we had a little boo-boo right there, again, just make sure your lines are staying crisp, that you had them. There we go. This way y'all can actually see me do this here. Okay, I think everything is looking pretty dang good. There we go. Okay, so now we are going to dust these bad boys down. Baby is going to take the Kirsty Meekins 240 sponge or 120 sponge and give it a good once over. All right. Now I'm going to take the alcohol and acetone cleaning solution and we are going to clean this. Now, at this point, we can do one or two things. Let me bring it, there we are. Okay, at this point we can do one or two things. We can just top coat this, or if you wanted to add a color into here, you could do so and then top coat it. But I'm going to just top coat it. I thought about it, trust me, I thought real hard about putting another color on there. And it's not like I don't have a color that would go with this, because I do. There we have it. Beautiful. Just beautiful.